Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome you all back to the 85th character in this series of Newcomer ideas for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And as I mentioned in the last video, when I talked about Andy from Advance Wars, this time I'm going to be jumping back into the world of Donkey Kong, which I haven't done a Donkey Kong character in a long time, but for character number 85, I've already done King K. Rool a month or so ago, and he was announced for Smash Brothers. I did Dixie Kong as one of my first 5 characters I talked about. There's a rumor she might be a Diddy Echo. There's a rumor she might be in the game. Who knows? I have no idea. But there was, and I did also. Oh, I did 3 actually. I forgot I did Funky Kong as well. He's in there too somewhere. So I've done Funky Kong, Dixie Kong, and King K. Rool. There's one more Kong I really have to talk about, and this will probably be the last Donkey Kong character in this series. And character number 85 goes to Cranky Kong, Donkey Kong's grandfather. Been around since the Donkey Kong Country series, and has been relevant in the series ever since. And his importance to the series could very well see why I see his inclusion in Smash Bros. As being pretty major. But yes, like always, 3 separate categories. Why does the character make sense? Moveset ideas, and percentage chance I can actually see him getting in. So why does Cranky Kong deserve to be a new Donkey Kong wreck? We have Donkey Kong, we have Diddy Kong, and a new character so far, King K. Rool. Does Donkey Kong deserve a 4th character or a 5th character or whatever? That's to be seen and to be determined, I guess. But I do think a 4th character would be nice, alongside the likes of Xenoblade getting more characters, and Zelda getting more characters, and Fire Emblem getting more characters and whatnot. So, it can go any way, really. But it's like, Donkey Kong, I do think, deserves a secondary rep. But why should it be Cranky Kong? Why should Cranky Kong be the next representative of the Donkey Kong franchise? Okay, first and foremost, he is iconic to the series. He's been in Donkey Kong Country since day 1, since the first Donkey Kong Country game released on the Super Nintendo. He was in Donkey Kong Country 1, Donkey Kong Country 2, Donkey Kong Country 3. He was in Donkey Kong 64. He's been in every spin-off with Donkey Kong ever. He was included in, I think, a Mario Kart game at one point. He's been in the new Donkey Kong game since, since Return came out on the Wii back in 2010. He's a long-running character in the series. He's as long-running, if not more so, than King K. Rool. And King K. Rool is the major villain and is already now in Smash Bros. So, put 2 and 2 together there. And now he's finally been playable in the main series, because he was only ever playable in the spin-offs like Donkey Konga and the Donkey Kong Racing the Racing Beat one on the GameCube and the Wii, and Mario Kart he was in spin-offs. But for the most part, he's always been a side character. You talk to, you go to a shop, you buy items, and so on and so forth. Now he's finally playable in the series. And Tropical Freeze, when that released on the Wii U, and now it's obviously getting ported to the Switch, he's now a major playable character in the series. So, if he's playable in actual Donkey Kong, in the Donkey Kong series, that should also partially warrant him that he's a little more important to include nowadays in Smash Brothers. Tropical Freeze was his Donkey Kong series main series debut, and that game is now still relevant, not just on Wii U, but they ported it to the Switch. So there you go with that. And one other major thing I'd like to actually talk about, and it is the major part of the series, at least in terms of, I don't know how, true it is, or if it's been announced by Miyamoto or anything, or Nintendo in general, or if it was just it's speculated or whatnot. But technically, Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong. Back in the day when you played the arcade games and you wanted to climb up as Jumpman to save Pauline or Lady or whatever from Donkey Kong, technically, the original Donkey Kong is Cranky Kong when he was younger. Donkey Kong Jr. is his son, which is Donkey Kong now, his father. So Donkey Kong now is his grandson. So what better way to include the most relevant Donkey Kong now, have him in since the original, and then include the original Donkey Kong that started it. Oh! There you go. It's a major reason for why he really should be in. Not just his relevance in terms of the Donkey Kong Country franchise, being there since the beginning, and now being playable in that series, not just the spin-offs, but the main series, being there since the beginning because he's technically the original Donkey Kong. There you go. Moveset ideas. I kind of made a decent chunk of movesets that I think kind of represent him in the country series fairly well, and still kind of trace his roots back to the original Donkey Kong. See that in a minute when I talk about the Final Smash. But his smash attacks, he does use a cane. He's kind of an old man now, so he'll walk around walking with his cane. Maybe he won't be the fastest character, and he'll smack you with his cane. Smack, 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 smack. Like some old man beating up a young kid. There you go. I'm an old man. I know how to fight. I'm going to teach you younglings. He has with his cane. And I'm going to give him some DK attacks. So maybe he'll have some sort of echo-ish abilities in him. So he'll do the ground pound, and he'll be punches, but not super powerful like normal Donkey Kong does. But like weak low punches and stuff, like ground pounds, like rolling maybe, but weaker ones, like where he doesn't roll as fast, stuff like that. But mostly his smash attacks will focus on him attacking with the cane, jabbing you with the cane, smacking you on the head with the cane, swinging the cane, throwing the cane, whatever. With some ground pound, some sort of DK echo-ish attacks, but not major ones. His special attacks have basically 3 major things I could think of. He can pogo stick with his cane. That's basically a major feature they gave him in Tropical Freeze. So he basically can Scrooge McDuck his way like DuckTales, boing, 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 and he can jump on people's heads, and it'll be his way of jumping upwards. And you could jump, if he does that, he could jump on your head basically, so there you go. And he can hurt you. He does have a denture pop gun, so he can basically shoot out his teeth at you. So that's his ranged attack, besides possibly throwing his cane. And I wanted to do something with his rocking chair, because you've basically always seen in the earlier games him in his rocking chair when you go talk to him in his house or his shop or so. So he'll get in his rocking chair and just like rock forward and he smacks you with his head or something, or maybe he'll slide his rocking chair at you, or maybe he'll ride it down a hill. Like maybe if it's a slanted area, he rides it and he just rides it down. There's a point. What? No. So there you go. He rides his rocking chair. He hits you with his rocking chair. He shoots his dentures out with a pop gun, and he can pogo stick his cane. So there you go. There's the special attacks. Final Smash. As I wanted to mention this, I wanted to represent him as the original Donkey Kong. I wanted to throw some Donkey Kong arcade references into this character because he is technically the original Donkey Kong. So he's going to grab a golden banana. He eats the golden banana. He grows younger and turns into old school Donkey Kong and just starts throwing barrels over the stage. It'll be something you can't control. It's not like a controllable one. It won't be cutscenes either. He'll just go in the back of the stage. Like a construction field will probably jump up behind him, or maybe he's floating in the sky, and he just starts throwing barrels at the stage, which will roll around on the stage like how they do in Donkey Kong. Some barrels are just normal barrels. They hit you, they just break, and they give you damage. Some barrels will be exploding barrels, and they will give you more damage. So if you have high percent of damage, kaboom, one goes, and you go right off the stage. So yeah, it represents classic DK. His final session will be called Classic DK. He eats his golden banana, turns younger, and just starts throwing barrels at you. It has to be. Then I'm just representing him both in the Donkey Kong Country series and him being the iconic Donkey Kong. So there you go. Cranky Kong. Now we're on to the third character. Percentage chance I can see him actually getting in. I would like to say it's a good one. And in my percentage I gave him was pretty decent, but he's not like high up there, like 70, 80, 90% range. Because first off, I can't guarantee or even assume that we're going to get a fourth Donkey Kong character. And even so, he does have competition because technically Dixie Kong has been, in the rumors a lot more as being like an echo or stuff. And people assume that she's going to be like an echo of Diddy or something. So his strong competition right now is Dixie Kong. I don't really see Funky Kong really getting in the games. I know I've mentioned him in the video before and I gave him a decent percentage. I think he's the odd man out here. It's either if we do get a fourth Donkey Kong character, it's Cranky or it's Dixie. And quite frankly, I think the more original choice should be Cranky, but Dixie's been more important to the series in longer term since Donkey Kong Country 2. She's been more important to the series, so I think they might want to go for her. But if we do get a fourth Donkey Kong character, it's going to be between those two. And that's if we get a fourth one. But I'm going to give him a 60% chance because I do think he's relevant enough to the series to compete with Dixie Kong for that fourth potential spot. And I don't think Donkey Kong's really ever going to get 5 characters, at least not in Ultimate. Maybe in Smash 6, 7, 8. But I do think if we do get a fourth character, it's going to be at 4 and only 4. So it's only one or the other. And I'd like to say he is the best choice, and he really might be the more original choice, but Dixie is kind of the more iconic choice, so I'm going to say she's a little bit more likely. But he's just as likely, he's right there. He's right within an inch of possibly beating her out. And I think he would be a fun character to play as because he represents more of the series, technically, because he is the original Donkey Kong. And now he's finally playable. And in future country games, he'll probably continue to be playable. So I say we represent that. But I think 60% is pretty decent. But yeah, that's it for character number 85, Cranky Kong. Put in the comments section what you guys think. Do you guys like Cranky Kong? Do you like the reasons I feel you should get in? Do they make sense? What reasons do you think you should get in? Do you even want him in the game? If my moveset idea is good, what moveset ideas could you come up with? And is 60% too high, too low? What the heck else ever? Discuss it down there. We have fun. And that's it, character number 85. And now when I come back for character number 86, we're going to be doing one more Nintendo character before I jump back into talking about some third parties. When I talk about yet another Nintendo IP, like I talked about last time with Advance Wars, that hasn't been used in a long time, but is popular. It is iconic, and it is recommended for not only a new game, but people have seen, I've seen them want characters in Smash Brothers. And I'm going to be talking about Elite Beat Agents / Oanden. See y'all next time.